Hey guys and girls, Vilisink back again with Raid Shadow Legends, and in this one, per subscriber request, I'm going to be taking a look at Dark Fae. I'll tell you how I get past her. There is auto teams. I'll give you an auto team later in the video with the speeds and whatnot. That is for like hard 120 pretty much. But for me, I'm happy just because I really don't farm that boss too much. So I'm happy just to get past her. So it's so easy in that battle to go wrong, because when you go in, if one of your moves is not off cooldown, or if the move you require is not there, then the enemy goes and boom, 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 suddenly your team's kind of scuppered. So I prefer to manual it. So what I was thinking was maybe just show you a couple of teams I've used, or just I'll show you some teams, and maybe according to your roster and the champions you have, like if maybe you're a newer account and it's a lower stage, maybe you're using all rares. There is obviously rares that have the same type of skill sets and whatnot, that you can maybe incorporate. There's even uncommons as well. Obviously, if you have an auto team for Fae, this is probably not going to be for you. So, couple of tips. When you go into the battle with Dark Fae, it's important that you have your cooldowns reset, meaning that if you go in with Stagnite, you want the decreased defense ready. If you go in with Sylar, you want her A3 ready. You go in with Vilisink as your fastest champion, you need to have her A3 ready, because then you're going to dictate how that goes. I like to personally focus on control. I provoke, taunt, or turn meter control. So if your fastest champion is Lysandra, you would want her A3. Because you can go Lysandra, then you can go into Vilisink. So you're decreasing their turn meter, you're then provoking them. Then they cannot effectively try and kill you, because if anybody on the opposing team takes a turn, aka just a shadow of the team you're taking in, if you have a very well built nuker, he may just one-shot some of the champions that you're working with, your own champions. But in saying that, if you're building a nuker to one-shot your team, depends if it's like a Fae-only team or not. You may want to build some of the support champions or accompanying champions kind of weak, so they can be one-shot. So you get to Fae a little bit easier. But as far as the teams I was using, also be careful with masteries depending on what you're going with. So this was one team, and I'm happy just to manual this. I've got a few teams that I was playing with. Some good type of champions, for instance, could be Deacon. He has turn meter manipulation, then he has an extra turn into a decreased defense. Lysandra is really good for turn meter. Cold Heart will show you. I remember my clan leader, I gave him a team, I believe it was similar to this one, and he got past Dark Fae. Now this is just normal. I will give you a team for hard, so do not fret. I have Magnar, which was a fragment that you could have got, or sorry, a fusion that you could have made. Vilisink is free. Arbiter is a good speed booster. Allure is okay. Allure is okay when you kill your shadow, like the shadow team in front of her, because then Allure doesn't let her take a turn. Personally, I don't use Allure. Ninja is also good here because he can freeze everybody. Nethril is just fantastic. Multi-hit, freeze, huge turn meter reduction. Stagnite is free. Renegade, reduce some cooldowns. Lua can reduce turn meter by 100%. Also do some good damage. Already mentioned Sylar with dead legs. Uncommon, we've got Armiger. So we're going in. If it's not an auto team, like I just don't do auto teams, to be fair. We're just going to start by whipping some people here. I really don't. As long as I have a couple of moves that I I need to have off cooldown, it's fine. It really makes no difference. All I need is to be able to provoke the enemy team. And most importantly, all I need to do is, I only need to kill this boss once. So if you're finding yourself in a spot of bother, if you're finding yourself at a point where you just, for the life of you, can't get past it, this stupid, annoying woman keeps killing you. Remember, you only have to do it once, so regardless of the plan that you're taking in, as long as you do it once, you're good. So you don't necessarily need a team if you don't have the resources in order to create one. You can just put champions together and get past it that way. This is just one of several comps. So she will veil up, and the champions I have are the champions she has. So we're going to, first and foremost, I don't think we need to reduce anybody's turn meter because there's really no point. So next up is Vilisink. Now I'm going to drop a provoke. Boom. They're not going to do anything apart from their A1. I'm then going to decrease their defense. I'm then going to make sure I knock off all of this little dudes right here. And we're just going to do that because the Heart Seekers we're going to be keeping for, let's just reduce everything by 2 turns. It's fine. Do that. This is actually taking a little bit longer than it normally does, but it is what it is. But as soon as we get past, now we're good. Now it's a case of that. Oh, you killed my Vilisink. That's the first time I've seen Vilisink die in a while. I do declare that's very strange. A Heart Seeker. We're just not going to damage her now. Then it's going to A1, boost turn meter for her. We're going to A2, going to get some damage out. This might be the one run in the history that does not work. And God forbid, I try to give you guys some advice, and the first team that I used earlier does not work, because it can happen. This game has some sick RNG. But I assure you, this is a very, very capable team. This is possibly depending on how you put your priorities as far as, and like your skill sets for round 1, 2, and 3, this could be an absolute auto team as well. Because I don't farm this set very much, I haven't necessarily built an auto team. I don't really feel I need to, so let's just pick her off. Because most importantly, we'll have to do it once. And there you go. That is one composition. A different composition. Now, I remember the team I had before. The team I had before, I took in a team that was extremely free to play, but I also took in, I'm trying to remember, you could also only take in 1 Cold Heart. If we go back to the team I had 2 minutes ago, if we removed 1 Cold Heart and a Renegade, as well as Painkeeper, recycling the cooldown by like turns and so forth, Renegade does it, so therefore you get your Heart Seeker back quicker, you get your Provoke back quicker, just so you can also keep Dark Fae's turn meter down while dealing damage. We could go there. We also need to go, where is everybody's favorite rare decreased defense champion? Where are you? Oh, it's in the vault. Well, that's just bloody horrible. Why would anybody do that? Why would I do that? Oh, and we have Kayla as well. And I believe the other champion, I believe I had a team similar to this. And I think I possibly did a video on it. we'll manually take through. This is all champions obtainable. Magnar was obtainable at some point. He, until empowerment, he was the hardest hitting champion. He was just a complete beast. So we're going to boost there. We are going to keep the A3 from, what do you call her? Didgeridoo. I can't remember her name. I'm just going to call her Didgeridoo. And we're going to A1. Because all we're doing is we're going to get past it once. We don't have to waste all of our moves, because if we do waste all of our moves, then we find ourselves in a spot of bother, because we can't control the enemy team. They're going to control us. They're then going to kill us. And then this is all going to be for nothing. So let's just see. Well, we need to have the A2 ready, because the A2 is what I'm going to slap them with. Let's go to Drop Ghoul, hit him. And it takes maybe longer than some people would like, but time doesn't really bother me when I'm, so let's, what's this one? Yeah, so let's slap Lua. Get rid of her. Slap Relentless Set is fantastic. Plus he looks pretty decent wearing his masquerade skin, I do declare. So let's just chop away. Increase defense, that's perfectly fine. All we care about is completing this once and getting on to the next 10 floors. That's realistically what's important. All you want to do is progress up Doom Tower. You don't necessarily want to be farming this gear set. So when we get to Dark Fae, it is the same thing again. So it fills up. So we're going to boost the turn meter. Now remember, we have the same speeds as our enemies do, because they are us. Which means we are going to provoke everybody to stop them from effectively kicking our asses. Acid rain is going to drop on them. Then we're going to, an extra turn, we're going to slap that. We're then going to do that to reduce their increased attack buff if we can. It makes not a lot of difference. You just keep hitting her for a second. And we're going to slap that. Just keep hitting her. I've got a reviver, makes no difference. A2, 1, 2, right, they're all dead. Perfect. Let's whoop Dark Fae's butt now. At one point, she will revive one person. We have nobody to revive. We will boost our turn meter though. We're going to just do some damage here. And we can just pick her apart essentially like this. No questions. We can reduce turn meter, decrease turn meter. We'll do some damage on the A3. I'm not sure how good Magnar's gear actually is. And slowly but surely, she'll do whatever the hell she wants. Arbiter's good. She ain't going to die. Trust me. She ain't going to die. So let's just see if we can up a weaken for 2 turns instead of 1. And this is quintessentially a very, I mean, free to play is a known term, but the game is based on RNG. So if you do 30 days and you get your sacred and you pull a top tier Lego from that, are you now pay to win? It's very confusing. But this is champions that are easily obtainable. Arbiter can be obtained, apart from Magnar, which realistically, Magnar can be anybody. Anybody that does damage, that is capable of killing some of your dudes. That's realistically what it's about. He has to be able to wipe some of your team out. Or else they're going to stay alive, they're going to start hitting you, they're going to drop your defense. And that's really not what you're looking for. Let's just see if we can decrease our turn meter again, do some damage. Again, I've got nobody really specifically built for Dark Fae at this point in time. So I don't I think the auto teams and whatnot set up. I don't farm this gear set enough to physically really care. In all fairness, 1 hit, 2 hit, and we're almost done here. Let her do her laser thing. It's totally fine, love. You do that. Beautiful. And there we go. We have another team. Dark Fae, level 80. Well, floor 80. Normal Doom Tower. Now, although the two teams are a little bit different, we could have used Lysandra instead of Arbiter. We could have used Sylar. We could have used Allure. We could have used a lot. Nethril is fantastic. We could have used Grohak the Bloodied. There's multiple teams that we could have used, but the idea is the same. If you're manual in it, you may have to be spamming your A1s and A2s. Keep all your cooldowns ready, so when you get to Fae, you have all of your moves ready. You want to make sure you can go in as quick as possible. Might take you a minute or so to kill her. That's totally fine, but then you need to make sure you can get out as quick as possible. Now, the team is not built, but if you want a reliable auto team, obviously manual if necessary, you can use Deacon Armstrong. You can use Deacon would need to be at 2. This team here is a team that would beat Dark Fae most likely always on auto, full auto on hard 120, and it is Deacon at 261 speed. He needs to have the lowest HP. Roll a guard. 1 of 2 is at 198 speed. The other roller guard is at 225 speed. Cold Heart 205 speed. We've seen how good Cold Heart is. She can deal damage. She reduces turn meter. And just for getting past the waves, she's quite good for the splash damage. Allure 259. She's really fantastic for. Again, I don't use her. She is really good. I've just never used her here. And the idea with that comp is you could go in with Deacon, decrease their meter, decrease their defense. Allure could potentially do her A1 or A2. You've then got damage coming from Cold Heart, Roll Guard, and Cold Heart. Oh, sorry, Roll Guard, Cold Heart, Roll Guard. So the opposing enemy team stands no chance. You then get onto Fae, and effectively you're just going to nuke her down. That's it. You could also replace one of the Royal Guards with the Grohak of the Bloodied, who I believe is a tight. As soon as he crits or something, he gets more turn meters, a turn meter manipulator, or he boosts his turn meter when he crits. He needs to be at 251 speed. You can replace him. Another team you can use is Lysandra, 274 speed. Again, you could use your Allure, Cold Heart, Roller Guard, and Grohak. All of the speeds stated, and that would be a pretty handy team. Or you can obviously you can go Arbiter, you can go in Kale, you can go Elhain, you can use Aethel, Gallic. It makes no difference. The damage dealers are just going to be doing damage. You won't need like a control champion, so let's, for argument's sake, let's take a look, because there's probably, I was looking for somebody in particular. There is Greybeard, I think, if I'm right. Is Greybeard the provoke one? Because let's say, for instance, you had him. If he's going to do a provoke, well, he does the freeze, he's the C. Yeah, but it's a one person. No, I was thinking of somebody different then. Yeah, maybe it was Stu Deucer or somebody. I was thinking of a rare champion that's got a very nice provoke. But the idea stands the same. When you go into, if it's not an auto team, go with your cooldowns reset. Make sure you have like a Vilisink, a Sylar, or AOE champions. Put some of them in a stun set. Make sure you can control your enemies at all costs. Just makes it way easier. If you're having any issues, it removes the RNG of them taking a turn and causing you further problems. So if they take a turn, they're going to mess you up, mess up your team order, affect your turn meters. We've went through some champions that are quite good in this. Went through some reliable teams. Obviously, be careful for your masteries. And obviously, like my Magnar, after my kill hit his AoE, finished pretty much most of the people off. And that's good, because that means that your champion can kill effectively your champions. Because you're going to have to, if not, you're going to have to build the support champions next to your damage dealer, I believe slightly weaker, so they can be at least one shot. So you can get to Fae, because you don't want to have them, if they were provoked, then not being provoked. Potentially doing turn meter manipulation on you, decreased defense. Ninja can go in, Ninja can freeze you. You can do mass damage depending on his build. So, although I'm not the expert on Dark Fae, that's personally how I choose to farmer. I'm not necessarily a speed farmer of this dungeon or this champion. I'm probably not going to go back and really farm any gear for it. I'll maybe do Bommel, I think. Or I will do Scarab or something. I hope that was helpful. If there is any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll ask certain people in the clan, although I believe certain people in the clan will be watching this. If any of you guys in the clans, dudes, if you can help out, I must apologise. I've had a brain wipe with regards to my subscriber's name, so I do apologise for it. But he was looking for some help on Dark Fae, so if you have any information, stick it in the comments down below. But most importantly, guys, stay safe, keep on reading, and I'll see you soon.